Om Namah Shivaya. 7th August 2023, 7:17 p.m. and there is pretty much just one thing that I have to document today's session. I will play the video that I was working on last time. So just looking at it, what are the three things that I can think of? One is definitely there is a change in placement of the flag. It was over here somewhere, placed it here because it's the bottle was colliding with it. And then earlier the text was just coming like here, like regular text on top of the bottle, and I didn't like the fact that the bottle was getting covered. So I placed the text as a fire bursting, like a celebration thing, which was like an almost spontaneous choice, like let's just do it that way. And it worked pretty well. So this is one big thing which I did inside After Effects, and watching a video by Avnish Parker, if I'm not wrong, I will credit that tutorial. And the third thing is you see the bottle is bouncing pretty much. So how do you get that bouncing interpolation? It's done through manual keyframing, but there is something worth learning there. So let me show that. Firstly, the bounce, how is that bounce happening? So you see, if I come in here, it's primarily accomplished through your graph editor. So there are keyframes here of rotation and primarily Z location. So if you see, I have not put any keyframes for X and Y location because there is no movement happening in X and Y. And you want to try and minimize, if I can probably do this, come in and do Shift H, no, doesn't work. If we disable these, it's not doing anything. But you see, these are the Z location keyframes. So I'm going to go into Control Tab. Control Tab takes you from your timeline into your graph editor. So in the Z location, the blue line, you see how is it happening? We come in here, we bounce up a little bit of a mountain, and then it comes down a little bit lesser than the previous one, the height, and then the last one is the least one. So that gives the bouncing effect. There is also the bounce interpolation here, but you should not use it because it's very restrictive. Like you can't do any changes to it. It will just do that constant. You can increase the time it takes for that double bounce to happen or make it faster or slower, but that is pretty much all. So that's not very useful in my opinion. You have to want to do it manually. The way you do that is you want to select all of these handles and say V and make it free. So once it's free, you can control the independent handles like this and make the kind of curve that you want.
Select.
This is the video of Avnish Parker, and you can watch this video for firework, particle text animation, After Effects, no plugins. The way that I have set up my After Effects project, all Control Shift P. After Effects shortcuts are pretty weird. So if you look at this pre-comp 1 here, there is this thing called, there's two fireworks and there's hello fireworks. So let me just see the hello fireworks first. If you come in here, there are a bunch of pre-comps, and what this is doing is if I go into fireworks, there are two solids on which we've added particle systems 2, and we've keyframed the birth rate, and we've played with the producer to make the radius. We've played with physics, we've made the gravity 0, velocity 0.5. All these values, again, you can watch it in this video because it's exactly what he's done. I'm not gonna go and show. Now for the bigger one, what we did is we changed the particle from line to star, so we get some bigger particles here as well, and then you basically offset it. And for the reveal, you've done something very similar, but you've kept it like this, so it's fading in and then it's slowly becoming this kind of a thing. And then you basically track matte your text, which is inside another pre-comp. You could add, the advantage of doing it in a pre-comp is you could add an image here, and then that could be a logo being revealed. This is like a great way to get a firework burst reveal sort of animation. Okay, so that was that. The third thing is, what I did differently is that when I was rendering those things, I rendered the flag separately. So if you see, this is the bottle with the particles which are falling down, and then this is the flag. So I can do separate color correction on the flag, and I can even change the placement of the flag if I want to be like somewhere different than how I rendered it inside Blender. So I think that is pretty much all that I had to cover. The shadow catcher, everything is from the previous video. I did one more render here where I increased the lifetime of the particles from, it was at 200 to 400. One of the feedback I got is that the particles are disappearing midway because the lifetime of the particles, if you can see my screen, lifetime of the particles was at 200, so I increased it to 400, so that makes sure that none of the particles actually goes out. But the problem is, if let's say this was at 200, and now if I were to play it, you will see that some of these will just pop out, and that's what it is. Like at 200, see, you see the pop that's happening. There is no way that you can fade out their popping. I don't know if there is. I tried searching like a very loose search, but it did not seem like there is a way you can fade that out. So it's just like popping out, like die on hit kind of thing. So I just kept one version where they are not popping out at all, and there was one version where they were popping out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think this video is through. Pretty nice video, like a lot of VFX kind of things I've done here, and it's come out good as well. Everyone seemed to like it. The other thing that I want to discuss, primarily important, is Unreal Engine has been calling me incessantly, and so I was checking every single day Udemy, because you have this thing on Udemy where one fine day you get a discount of 85%. So course which they are normally selling for 4,000, they'll give it for like 400 rupees or something, or 500 rupees. So I bought like three or four courses today for Unreal Engine, specifically the things that I want to learn. So blueprints and character animations and stuff like those. I've been watching a lot of Magnet VFX YouTube channel for Unreal Engine. He does amazing work. He just takes a pack from the Epic Games marketplace, which is free, and then he just places things around and it looks like an amazing thing. So it just feels like it's the perfect time right now to completely dive into and absorb myself, if you will, into the world of Unreal Engine and start making my animations inside that. The software that you see on my screen, After Effects, I remember a time being in life where being able to make things inside this was a huge deal, right? You see how complex everything here looks. And then there came a time right about last year where I started using this software, which is iteratively, like substantially more complex than After Effects in the amount of in terms of the things that it can do and everything. And now I'm trying to go into Unreal Engine, which is like one step ahead. But I feel like these three softwares, Blender, After Effects and Unreal, they are going to become the core, like foundation of whatever I do from now on in terms of my animation or game career, even if we're building games or whatever. So it's really exciting times ahead and looking forward to how things work out. A lot of courses that I've taken now that I have to sit and actually follow, but that's something I'm pretty used to. On that note, one also important thing that I've been missing out is that boss fight. No referencing, no nothing I've been able to do, because that's how the nature of life is. I think it'll come down to the last 1 week or the last couple of days or something, but I will try my best to at least do something and submit it, because I don't want to do it like Endless Engines where just let it go, do something for it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for being in the code. I will catch you tomorrow. Peace.